Evening, everybody. Just under 2 minutes to go. Good to see so many of you in already. Very warm welcome to the end of season 64 live stream. Whilst we're waiting for the countdown clock to tick down, remember to hit the thumbs up. Say hello in the chat as well. Plenty of you in already. So about time for me to say hello to you as well. Daniela, Golfing Danny, how you doing? Nels, GC Mikey, Sean, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Alice Darrow, Tom Bray, Adam, aka Paws and Putts. How you doing, Adam? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Arsky, Andy as well. David, good to see you, David. Maggie Kennedy, Golf Clash Mom is in the house. Charles Farmer, how you doing, Charles? Heather, good to see you, Heather. Hope you're well. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. 1 minute left to go. Don't forget to hit those thumbs up as well. Shane Wimberley just sneaking in there at the bottom. Remember to cast your vote for your most liked, your favourite tournament that we've had in the last season. Summer Major, Ocean Links, 9-hole Cup, Acacia Reserve, and recently Tour Championship, 40%. Very close there. 40 seconds to go. Remember, cast your vote for your favourite tournament of season 64. 30 seconds to go. GC John K, how you doing? Lee Bradshaw, he's just down the road from me. Birmingham, UK. Hope you're doing well, Lee. Good to see you. Juan as well, coming in from Florida. But it's nicer there than it is here in the UK. It's very dull. It's getting dark earlier, and it's a bit cool as well. 10 seconds to go. See you all very soon. We are live. A very warm welcome, everybody. It is the end of season 64. It's here already, and we were just saying a few minutes ago before we went live, these come round literally, it just only seems like a few days ago we were doing the end of season 63. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Tommy, how you doing, sir? Good evening.
I totally agree. Good evening to you. Good evening to everyone in the chat. Welcome in here. No, like you said, Ben, honestly, it truly feels like yesterday. I was walking downstairs just here quickly, trying to get the cat in because now it's starting to absolutely pour down outside. And it's like, it just feels like, yeah, we got maybe 2-3 weeks of summer, but that's about it. I mean, standard Sweden though, but you always hope for more.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, like June was really good here. May was all right. July was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it got very similar. But
yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. It's been a busy week. I've been in the rehearsal rooms down in London all week, really. So it's been a very, very busy week, but it's been very enjoyable as well. Good to see so many of you in here. Don't forget, like and subscribe. If you want to chat, you need to be subscribed. So make sure you hit the thumbs up right now. If you haven't done so already, you need to be subscribed to take part in the chat. As always on this end of season stream, we're looking back at the last 4 weeks, tournaments, stuff that's happened in the games. There will be some polls, chance to ask questions, but more importantly, give us your thoughts on Golf Clash and your feedback. We will be looking ahead to season 65, couple of little teasers coming up there as well. And if you're not watching live, timestamps at some point after this show, they will be added into the description down below. This is the 10th one we've done. I think maybe not 10 for you. There was maybe one I did on my own, but it's the 10th end of season one already. So we've been doing this almost a year.
Yeah, that's honestly insane. But these are just, I think I can speak for many. If just looking at them like it's a nice Sunday. For me, I think this has become like part of my Sunday before the big tournament starts, and kind of like obviously before the season and stuff like that. It's a nice way to summarize everything and look forward to. I hope everyone is enjoying that, for all of us nerds. It's good fun.
Now there's an interesting comment. Don't forget, we can put your comments up on screen as well as one here. Have you got visitors coming up soon in the form of Ian and Tony? Are you having a bit of a jolly?
Yes, they will arrive to Kastrup Copenhagen Airport on Tuesday evening. Oh, and then so they're gonna stay here from Tuesday to Sunday. and we are going to play. Besides, obviously, me and Tony have some work with the tournament guide on Thursday, and I have some stuff to do on Friday and stuff. It's still going to be the same type of. That's not going to change, but we're going to play some poker on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and just hanging out, enjoying time together. I met Ian once, as I think some people know, but I've never met Tony, and I'm looking forward to that a lot. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot. So it's going to be all good. It's going to be good fun.
Excellent. It's good. It's nice to meet, obviously we all make these connections over Golf Clash in a very weird and wonderful way. And anything, when you meet people I've met Ian, obviously, came to see me do a show last year. I haven't met Tony yet. I will be near to Tony's neck of the woods next year, so maybe we can do something there, and catch up with some people around the course of the UK. Right, so we're straight in with the last 4 weeks. If you've not voted yet, now is your time. It's going to be a close one, this one. We've already got 43% for the Summer Major. We only have 7% for the Tailwinds of Ocean Links, 10% for the Last Main Acacia Reserve, and 40% for the Tour Championship. Very close between the Major and the Tour Championship. Now, if you had to pick your favourite, what would it be?
In the end, like it was standing between those two for me as well. And in the end, I picked the Summer Major because it's a major, and those are, for me as a tournament player, a little bit more exciting. But I totally understand the Tour Championship. It was an easier way for us to get some drops, shorter holes in general, and that's definitely more enjoyable, especially as I do think people were a little bit not disappointed, I don't know, frustrated maybe is the better word for the Acacia tournament, which was very difficult, one of, at least in Master, at least I would say, one of the tougher tournaments we have had this year. I would say I felt that one was with the new pins, especially a couple of pins were like put in a way where it was like, hey, you're probably going to drop some, but it's going to be hard to be consistently dropping on those shows, regardless how much time you spend. So no, I voted Summer Major, but yeah, it was Porthello. But I actually enjoyed the revamp on the Porthello more than what I did on the regular one, I would say.
Nice. Okay, so we'll close that one, 43%, and I've written that down. Very interesting. So there we go. That is the winner for that. So that does bring us on to a bit of Porthello rework. So kind of sticking my neck on the block slightly here, given the amount of suggestions I made for that. And please contribute in chat as well. I know that, a lot of the things on that really were kind of more rookie, simply, making it a little bit easier for rookie, but there were a couple of tweaks that would have affected second tee, third tee. Did it make it more enjoyable for you, Tommy, and for you in the chat? Please contribute. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I think so. Like for me, it was more like you could rely on the drives a bit better than before, and that is like make it or break it for me nowadays. It's like as I work and value consistency when I do play. So Porthello has always been like, oh, there is a glitch roll, and you have played that hole like so many times, and you get a glitch roll from nowhere. Here you could actually design. It was still tough, but the drives were better. I liked the greens were also flatter. The only thing I did not enjoy of the revamp that did stand out for me, I think I mentioned that to you as well, Ben, was the glitchy. It was hole 9, the second shot, where it was. It's still a tough one, so I just felt that was just so unnecessary with I guess it was because they lifted up the fringe a bit that it became.
I guess that kind of just caused a little bit of a glitch on that one. But very
other
interesting.
other than that, I mean, I felt it was good. I mean, it didn't really change much on the on the cliff shootouts, for example, a very elevated one, and didn't. Oh yeah, it changed actually quite. It was like Hole 2 was interesting to me again from a 30 perspective. It's like everything was now flat, but before we could take advantage of some pretty nice funnels there. It was still hard to get there, but once you did do the work and then you had some got rewarded for that. Here, that hole became such a difficult drop all the way through the tournament, where like again it just became a standard rough bump, where you had to be spot on with the wind angle tweaks and such, with no help really from any type of funnel. So that was interesting. I like the whole much more now in terms of just the flatness of it, but it was no. I overall I was satisfied or happy with that.
That's good. I mean, the thing you make about the point you make about the drives as well and having the consistency. I think my sights are set. Obviously this is still subject to me kind of discussing with them what to do. But like the Oasis would be another one that I would love to get that smoothed out. Because that is so glitchy. If you're a guide user, or even if you're not a guide user, you should feel that if you're just doing one practice that you should then have a decent idea and could play the same setup without a high percentage chance of, and not just a glitch roll on the drive in the Oasis. You've got those rough bumps which are really, really glitchy. Hole 8 is bad. Like hole 1 is good. Like hole 1 I always enjoyed in the Oasis. Hole 5 is that tough thing, which I find very hard, especially with the second pin on that. That's really hard. And then the other two par 3s are very tough. So I think there's something to be done there with Oasis if there is the opportunity there. Pause and Put says he had good feedback from the rookie side of things on Porthello. That's good. That's good, because I always felt that was really tough for newer people. If you've got or whatever, you couldn't play some of the drives. So. That's good. We're going to talk a bit about modifiers coming up, but John Boy coming in there saying he's still pushing for free entry fees for tournaments. Yeah, I mean, I think that, it's safe to say that entry fees won't be abolished, and as much as we'd all love just to not spend any money, I don't think it will work for the overall game. But I think the more of them that we can get, if they're maybe not scheduled as a regular thing, but semi-regularly, that there's one every so often, however, often that may be. I think it's good because they are popular. There's loads of brackets. It's easier.
Yeah.
And as I say to everybody on the Facebook groups now, because you still get a few people saying, "Oh, I couldn't really do the free entry because I wasn't in Master." I mean, now that you can't relegate, just promote where you can. Just get to Master 1 and sit there. It literally doesn't make any difference to anything else in the game if you're being up there, really.
It's maybe a couple of hours of not couple of hours, but some games every week that you may have to spend to get up to Master 1, but it's not that. Obviously, if you're down playing Tour 6 and Tour 7, it might take you a while, but like if you're up in Tour 9, Tour 10, which most of the people are, then it's not many games to get to Master 1. You need to have in mind that a lot of players in Master, like myself and many others of my friends, are not playing Tour Play ever. So promoting is just gonna be super easy. So yeah, I agree with it. Just promote so you have the opportunity at least to play it.
Coming on to modifiers then in general, a quick update, not a confirmation by any stretch of the imagination, but we did have the steady wins at the end of the last season. Now, I've not heard that it was a disaster, so early signs are that it is going to be at some point repeated. How often and when, I don't know. But my biggest fear was for me to hear, oh, no, it performed terribly, we're never going to do it again. It didn't perform terribly, which I'm very pleased about.
Would have been surprised if it did, honestly. No, I hope it could be like a perfect way if they are trying to. I mean, obviously, I would love to have it like every 9-hole cup personally, but like to look at it realistically, like have it once every 2-3 months maybe. I would hope that would be possible. That would be able to maybe cater to a holiday like Christmas and stuff like that. So I would love to see that in. I would love to see that more. I've always been favorizing the steady wins.
Yeah,
I've said that so many times. So.
Heather, like steady wins more than free entry. Now, there's an interesting discussion point. Do
Oh,
people
yeah.
go for the steady win? I guess it depends what your bankroll is, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see
like-
on a time-saving point of view, then, yeah, it's a biggie, isn't it?
I mean, it in the end depends on, like, obviously those players that play multiplayer accounts kind of have to blame themselves a little bit, because in the end you can play less accounts and then you could be done quicker. But it is time consuming, and with looking at the overall picture with Corona non-existent, with people actually having other things to do now, it becomes like that we wanted to go quicker, and people realize that you need to do a couple of practices maybe here and there too if you want to compete. And but for those that are satisfied, which is completely fine, to get themselves to the weekend round, may not really care, if that makes sense. But so yeah, it's all about what your goal is with your tournament play. I mean, if you have a guide and they are not making a bunch of mistakes, you're always going to get to the weekend round without any type of problems whatsoever. But if you go in winging it, for example, then I think those players would benefit from the same wins, as then you kind of remember what you have done before.
Exactly.
Now.
One here, is there anything that can be done towards master bracketing, from Hussam? Now, I could do with some clarification on that. I don't think he's thinking about tiers. We're not going to talk about tiers in master. That's banned from this one. Only because we've discussed it many times before. But I know there has been, a few instances where, say minus 39 in some brackets has got a gold, say, and then in other brackets it's, gold was taken with like minus 32 or something. So I guess that's the point there, which again has been in terms of scoring. I've just seen it clarified there from Hussam. Like, I think it would be great to have some way of doing that, but I don't know what the answer is. Is it like, do you have one big bracket, but then like, do you then make a certain score a gold banner? It's very tough to think about what's the right thing to do.
Yeah, there is no 100% solution, because if you would be putting it in a big bracket, which obviously would be great, like I wouldn't be against that, but then you would, how can I say, then you would, even if you would be rewarded with a gold, you would still have that element of, would be a little bit boring, because you would not be at the top of the leaderboard in the same way. And you wouldn't really know, like, if you shoot a 36, that might be silver place in the end, and that wouldn't be decided until the very end of the tournament. But I totally agree with the issue. Like, I definitely think it's an issue seeing people winning with a 34 and someone is not winning with a 39 just because they got the unlucky bracket, or the other one got the lucky bracket. And for those that do care, at least at the top level, about the ranking and stuff like that, makes the ranking a bit flawed in that sense too. But yeah, no, I don't think there is. I have thought about that a lot. I don't have a solution personally how that would work, if they are not maybe just changing the tournament how it is, like completely, just revamping that this is the way we do from now on. I think that would be the way to go. So I don't know what you think about that, Ben.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something there, isn't there, that kind of get rid of some of the disparity, but to find a solution that still makes it nice to play for. you know, rather than you've got to shoot a certain score. And you know, you may play differently when you know what bracket you're in, and if you, especially if you're playing towards the end of the weekend, you know, if you know that you're going to need a certain score on the last few holes, depending on tiebreaker or whatever, then kind of that element will be lost as well. But it's certainly interesting. Finners, now this one comes up quite a bit actually. Any chance of a tournament with 18 different holes? Now at the moment the answer is no, and I actually had an idea ages ago about maybe having, for example, this was before steady wins came into thing. I thought, well, actually, what would be good is if we could do, say we're playing on Gakasho Bay. We have Gakasho Bay. The wins stay the same for qualifying and final, but you change the pins. You go first set of pins for the qualifying and then second set of pins for the final. And I said, you know, is that feasible? And the way it's all about the way that the game is set up in the data thing. And at the moment, it's just 9 holes. I mean, like, would I like to see a tournament with 18 different holes? I think it would be fun. But there's no return on investment if you're looking at it from a business point of view. It wouldn't bring any more money in, you know. And I think it would require such a lot of changing, you know, with the, because it's always been like 9 holes, then you do the 9 holes again, then you do the 9 holes again. Like I said, you know, like I had that idea of maybe, okay, it would be good if we could maybe just change the pins. But so at the moment, no. But I don't know about the future. It might be something that they do. But that comes up quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a natural thing to think about. It's like if people are relating to just 18 holding real golf, like if we take that comparison, then obviously it's 18 different holes that they are playing, and it was actually interesting to hear that it's essentially would cost them too much in terms of time, like, because that's really what you're saying, if I understand you correct, that they would have to recode certain things that they don't see will bring in revenue. Did I understand you correctly?
That's my take on it. That, you know, I think it would be a fairly significant change. I don't know the ins and outs of how the data works, but it's not a quick change. I wouldn't have thought, but I could see maybe just, you know, speculating. If there was, you know, we obviously have some real life courses. I would think if there was ever a reason to put 18 holes in, it would be great if we could have 18 holes of a real course. I think that would be great.
I agree.
You know,
absolutely.
do a full 18, say, okay, right, we're going back to Sawgrass or whatever, and we're not just doing the 9 that were picked before, we're going to do a full lot of them. You know, if ever there was some partnerships or whatever that came up in the future where there was a possibility of doing a full round on something, especially if it was one like an iconic course in real golf, I think that would be great, actually. You know?
I agree, absolutely.
Interesting. Okay, what else do we have here in the chat before we move on? Yeah, full 18 of a real course. A couple of people as well mentioning like season tokens left over. What about the excess season tokens? The feedback stuff that we had, got to be a couple of months ago now, all the suggestions, they have been sent in, and I think they are in the process of working their way through, looking at those and working out what can be put in quickly and what, you know, may be something for further down the line as well. Ben, does PD watch the streams and look at some of these suggestions? Yes, maybe not live, but on a Monday morning, I believe. They do review them, so keep your comments coming. Like I said, there's a lot of them. I can't put them all out as well. All right, so any further thoughts on modifiers, let me know in the chat now. A lot of calls for free entry. Other than that, we're going to talk a bit about East Lake, talking about real courses. So thoughts on this one? Bit of a shorter one.
Yeah, it was a fun one, like I must say. I liked it was easier, obviously, but I think this in general was very welcomed by a lot of players, and I also felt there was an interesting take on many of the shots we're actually been playing uphill, and that's I have never really been playing a course with so many of the holes actually played uphill on the second shot. And that obviously leaves for less adjustment and also makes it for easier, in my opinion. The only one is like hole 9 was it truly did stand out, and I would say that hole 4, I'm surprised that in the end we in I think all the divisions ending up playing in general backspin play instead of playing that rough bump, because that rough bump was way worse than I think a lot of us expected it to be. So those are my takes, I would say. All in all, it was nice, sweet, didn't take much time, didn't have to practice much at all, which is an absolute win for myself in the weekend round. So from a egoistic perspective, I love that.
Any thoughts in chat about the balance of par of holes, like 5 par 4s? Did that bother you as a player? Anybody? Did you have any thoughts on that? Did you kind of miss 3 3s and 3 5s?
No, not at all. Or let's say like this: I didn't miss the 3 5s. I am a sucker for par 3s. I really do enjoy that because I do believe that dropping par 3s is truly the biggest skill that you can have as a tournament player if you drop par 3s consistently. And I've always enjoyed the challenge with that, and it's something I think about in every tournament. Like I always count how many of the par 3s did I drop on all my accounts. That's a big focus point of me, because like an old saying is like par 3 wins tournaments, and that's really what it does in the end. But no, so I enjoyed I enjoy when it's something different. I feel like a lot of the time I can sit here and question Playdemic's lack of flexibility in these type of things. I mean, it doesn't hurt, like what I would say. I think it's just fun with different things. So it didn't bother me, and it wasn't like I was super duper happy about it either. I wouldn't have cared if it would be the same type of order, but now seeing what it can be done, I mean, and obviously I've seen other modifiers as well. I enjoy the changes, I would say.
Yeah, good. So nice balance, because I think if it's all par 3s, or if we've had all par, if we had all par 5s, yeah, we did have an all par 5s on the Albatrossable, didn't we? So that's something to think about, really. And I quite like that there was a different balance. Especially as all the par 4s weren't too similar. I know like 1 and 2 were fairly similar, but then there was a longer one which kind of needed a bit more, higher power ball or whatever to get nearer to it. So yeah, good. I'm quite happy with the balance of feedback on that. Really, it's nice. Decent balance. Mick Miller sneaking in there. Soulless, good guy on par. Welcome everyone. Tempo's in. Danky Can. JB. Catching up, saying hello to a few people. Here's an interesting one. And Finners, where are you, Finners? Get on the screen. There you go. How's the sale of the generation chests going? Any plans to sell other generational chests and reduce $4.99? I'm very pleased to be able to report that I have absolutely zero involvement in bundle sales. It's not my area of expertise at all. If it was down to me, I'd be throwing away prizes left, right and centre. I'd be giving out win 5 balls in all the tournament chests. I'd be, there'd be 5 different balls in the golden shot, and you'd see the graphs of revenue just plummet if it was down to me. So I can't answer that question. I've absolutely no idea. There was another free offering, wasn't there? Was that Generation 5 or something? There was some free balls the other week, wasn't there?
Yeah, something like that, I think.
So I've absolutely no idea about that. Right, where are we now? So we've done that. Oh, the golden shot. That was a decent ball. Did you enjoy the golden shot?
Oh yeah. Very surprised that we were given the ball we were given, and obviously with your initial notes on the golden shot in your video and also in the app, I managed to build a very what I would believe a very good guide. I think a lot of people did benefit a lot from that golden shot, and I've seen loads and loads of both posts and messages and stuff from people that they spend, what is it, £5 or whatever it is, and they got all the chests and even had 2 leftovers to medium, and I think it was like 44 balls that you could get as maximum if you dropped all on the hard and hole in one and the yellow ring on the medium. So I was very satisfied with that we could, all of us that was smart enough to actually watch the guide out there, that could actually benefit a lot from it. So I know I enjoyed it. More of those people. And I think Playdemic must have seen an increase in revenue on that golden shot, because people have been spending money on that one.
Yeah, I really like that. And as I said to you, when I did the tests on it, which was obviously a while before the video was put together, I think, and I was playing on a computer as well. It was tested on a computer. Which I managed to hit perfect, because the response rate is totally different to it is on an iPad. So I have to kind of try, because I sort of go from left to right, you see, I release from left to right. So I have to intentionally think about hitting a great left to get a perfect away on that. But I got 3 out of 5 hole-in-ones, and that was just doing, kind of a basic, just winging it, really. I thought, oh, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, that was it was great. And also that ball, it did surprise me, because we're not spoiled with getting those type of balls to win in golden shot or anywhere. Like, we had a couple of, I remember when we had a win 5 ball in one of the first master tournaments as a prize, way back. Like not in master, sorry, in rookie, in pro, you got to win the Santa balls, and in expert master you got to win the dead ball, and that was at the time where all of us were valuing power over wind resistance and stuff. So no, it's very welcome. I'm super pleased, and safe to say that I spent the money needed on my accounts as well to get those balls.
David with a question: do leftover golden shots roll over? From week to week, no. But if you've paid for shots and you haven't used them up by the end of today, you get, I think, 2 days grace period. I think that's correct. I know it's definitely a couple of days that you get. But if you've not taken your free one, you've got, 10 hours, 11 hours left or something. Make sure you take your free shot at least. Win yourself some balls. I'm going to skip ahead to here, because we've got a comment from James, and this is on our list, so we'll mention it now, because it is on the list of stuff to do. But James said, could you provide an update about the cheating inquiry and the signatures that were collected by Barry Stott? Is PD planning to stop pay for play in any way, or will it still be there and make players sick? So for those who don't know, over on the Facebook group, Barry from Incognito, who I've spoken to several times, lovely chap, you know Barry very well, excellent player.
Very bad person, yes.
He has put together a letter based on recent posts and community sentiments about hackers, pay-for-play accounts that are in, we're seeing quite a few, people have reached out to me in Master, also in Expert, about that. So if you want to go over to the Facebook group, I think you can search for the post by Barry. He's put a letter there. If you want to be added to it, you can read it. It's fairly short. It's very pleasant and very fair. If you want to add your signature to it, you can. As I have already said on the Facebook group, I've not put my name to it. The reason I've not put my name to it is because I've already kind of passed on those points and continue to encourage, the fight against cheating, hacking, pay for play. I've been doing that for 12 months, so this is something separate from me. Obviously, I will be the one that sends the document in. But if you want to contribute your name to the list, I think there's approaching 500 people on there, then do so. I won't send it in tomorrow because it's a bank holiday, so you've got an extra day. But it's important, and I'm bothered by it. It bothers me I don't want to see players cheated out of a gold, or being in any way compromised by somebody who's not playing by the rules. And I'm not, it doesn't affect me because I'm not playing live, but it still bothers me. And anything that bothers players really bothers me, because I want people to enjoy the game and to play it with the knowledge that it's the best it can be. So I'm very much for it. Like I said, I have done a lot already. I know you have over the years as well. A great amount of work to help with that. But at the end of the day, like, I don't make the decisions on that. I've got no way of getting accounts actioned against. All I can do is the same as you guys really is, and that is, if there is any doubt, send a ticket in. That's the really the only advice I've got at the moment, is just, if there is any doubt, send it in. You don't have to plaster it over the Facebook groups. I don't want to see good players called out for, they shot a 27 and then they shot a 36 or what. That's a minefield, that, and I think it's unfair. But the best way to do it, send a ticket in. If there's some issues, then of course they'll look into it. If they look into it and it's all fine, then there's no harm done. Do you know what I mean? You've not dragged anyone's name through the mud online.
I mean, I think people need to realize a couple of things when it comes to this. First and foremost, there will always be cheating in every game. You will never be having a game that is that no one is cheating, because once like some type of fix is coming in, then people that do like to cheat, they will figure out another way to cheat. So it's like a you will never stop it to 100%. So and thinking that would be naive. And the biggest thing here with that message from Barry is to somewhat put a point on the lack of action from Playdemic. People have always been giving me shit for like literally everything, but I've been spending years of pushing and fighting for Playdemic to take action when it comes to this with pay for play, and also with hacking the game and stuff like that. And it has been so difficult to actually get stuff done, and has felt like it has been the community's responsibility to fix people being banned by noticing it and stuff like that. And that's not how it should be. A company that earns so much money should not have to rely on the community to help to fix that for them. And that may be hard from myself, and there might be other things that I don't take into consideration and stuff like that. But what it has become to, that people can probably attest to in the community, is like, if someone has a great weekend round, they didn't play well in the opening round, and then in the weekend round they up their score with a lot of shots. That person will immediately and automatically get called out as a cheat, if it's not a person that is known from the community to play really well. And the problem with that is that that's not fair towards that person that may have the round. It might be that the person is doing some type of cheating, but the biggest issue with it is that we as a community can't rely on Playdemic because the lack of action in the past. So when we can't rely on that, we are going to question everyone. And then it's not going to be fun for someone that actually have a good round to actually shoot a good round and be proud of that, because that person is going to get an humongous amount of shit thrown in their face. And that's really sad that it has come to that point. Again, I'm not defending anyone. I will be the first one to look at a person's scorecard with no medals whatsoever in Master, and in that Catch a Reserve tournament goes from a 26 opening round to a 37 weekend round. I know how difficult it is, but I think, again, it's the lack of action that is the issue for a lot of us that has been working and pushing for this for a very long time. Not that we believe that we will fix the cheating completely in Golf Clash. I wanted to somewhat try to make that clear, because I do think there are some people thinking that, you know, if we just make our voices heard, Playdemic is automatically stop the cheating in the game completely. But that's never going to happen, because they will never win. No game wins that battle. But it's just the action part. Sorry for taking that.
That's great. It's it's very interesting to hear, really, and very, very important. Good one here from Bernard. Are we going to get a real course for a major? I think it will be fun. I totally agree. The issue, I think, with that, it's not really an issue, but it's reliant on licensing and scheduling and all of that. And obviously, there's not many. There's only 4 majors in the year. I would like to see one if there was a real golf event that would tie in nicely. It may not then be able to be called a major, though. That's the only thing that I could think from a licensing point of view. If it's tying to a real tournament, you'd maybe not be able to call it a major. But could a real course be used? Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't see why not, really. I think it would be fun. As long as it was kind of a decent, a decent thing, like, that's still fun. It's like going back to the East Lake. Like, would the sentiments be same playing the East Lake for a whole week? Would people think it was too easy for a major? There's also that to think about, isn't there? Because people generally like the majors to be tough, but I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, you're never gonna please everyone, obviously. I do think in general, like I've said that before, even though I personally enjoy the more tougher tournaments from a selfish perspective, but I do think that in general the community enjoy when it is a little bit easier, when they can show off a good scorecard without having to practice a hole to death and stuff like that. So I just, like I've said to you, Ben, I've said to others as well, it's the balance for me that is the problem with the wins at the moment. Like, that's the issue for me. I mean, if we do have last tournament, for an example, we had 6 holes that could be a potential send it to a round green shot, and I understand that we are not going to get 6 out of 6 on those, but 2 of those should, in my opinion, be that type of wind, because that is finding a better balance than what was, in my opinion.
Yeah, very fair comment. Very fair comment. Right, coming up, we've got some Season 65 stuff. And don't forget, if you want the new shootout sheets, we've got those. Those are up for Patreon members here from me. For the tour rotations, we've got those out. We have the new, when I've got some more episodes almost ready to finish about the Golf Clash History series. Those will be coming up as well, so join me on Patreon. You've got Tommy with a load of Patreon packages as well. And as we were saying, actually, I'm really glad that I went over to the Patreon thing, because we were just talking about YouTube taking ridiculous amounts of percentages. So supporting us on Patreon for whatever, whether it's only a small package just to help with the free content, I think from both of us is appreciated. It's so much better than YouTube, and I wish I'd done it before.
Yeah, it's stupid that it takes. So that goes for all the content creators, really. Yeah. I mean, if a content creator here on YouTube is having a PayPal link, send them money and donate via PayPal instead of donating via YouTube, as YouTube take a ridiculous amount of money on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of Patreon, Samuel, go and check out patreon.com/Golf Clash Tommy Master Division. You've got paid balls, free to play stuff as well, if you want to do that.
Appreciate that, Ben. And also I want to be completely transparent with that as well. Like, we are four people that are doing guides for Master Division. It's me, and we do have Pete Johnson, we have Boris Banco, and we do have GC Fensel and their team as well. Then there are some people that are doing free guides in the community as well. But like Ben said, we are the only place, at least, that will give you the possibility to play full free to play in payables as well. But need to mention the other people as well, I believe.
And, as I did for that, whatever the last tournament was, that I did a main one. And I think actually even with the last couple, people, finding a few Kingmaker options. I know a few people reached out, said, actually, I know I built up some luminaries, and they think, okay, I'm going to give it a go. And that's kind of the reason I do the Titan and Kingmaker plays, really, is just to get the ice broken about, because it does seem daunting when you're a player just to think, oh, I can't compete in Master because I haven't got 300 special balls. But, just get through a mini, get some Kingmakers out, get a few luminaries in, and build it up that way. It is absolutely doable. It is absolutely doable.
And it is Master today. You have to play the par score, which means that you're going to do the birdies on the par 3s and the par 4s and the eagle on the par 5s. Then you're going to get to the weekend round in Master. It is not harder than that. And with Ben's, your free video that comes out whenever you do those, I mean, with those balls and clubs that you present there, I mean, we all make mistakes, absolutely. But there are ways to play super simple and super safe to get to the weekend round, and I think people are definitely looking at Master as it's so much more difficult than what it is. It is difficult to win, don't get me wrong. To get the top spots, it's super difficult. That's a different story. But get to the weekend round, I believe it's easier in Master than what it is in Expert Tier 3, personally.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Chris is enjoying the P2 Wind 5. Thank you, PD. Yeah, I did put a bit of a request in, so many people had said we have not had a Power 2 ball for 5 seasons. So I'm glad you bought loads of them, Chris. I'm very pleased about that. It's nice to read the feedback. Right, course rotation. Oh, that's not looking very good on the sun. Didn't do that very well. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Right, what are your thoughts on this one? Easy one? Tough one? Medium?
The one, I would say medium, I think. Medium is probably the right. We are talking about the Eagle Peak now, right? Not the...
tour rotation, course reshuffle.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking Eagle Peak and I saw the picture on the screen. Sorry, the tour rotation. Yeah, I mean, I changed my answer.
Eagle Peak's not even on there.
No, I know. From a person that only play to really just dial in guides, I would say it's gonna be the same as before. I like the fact that we're getting a rotation a little bit earlier than rotation more frequently nowadays, and people will enjoy that. But there are some Old Bridge Park 2. It's gonna be stupid on Tour 13 and Nordic Fjords 2. I remember that one as well, especially hole 2 with that new pin location was one of the worst I've played. It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. But medium is probably the easiest way to go. I don't think it's gonna be harder than before. I don't think it's gonna be easier either.
No, exactly.
What do you think?
I think that this one is slightly more favourable because there is one course on every tour when you get 6 and above that is staying the same. I thought the previous one might have been a bit too drastic, where you had a few tours where literally all 3 courses were changing. I think that may be a bit too far. So I think the kind of thing of one course staying, because then if you have just stepped up or whatever, you've got at least a 1/3 chance of finding a hole that you'll know relatively well. I think it's less of a shock there. So I was quite pleased with that. I don't know what you think about that in the chat. Let me know. There may not be that many people at Play Tour playing here. A couple of people asking about Tour 14, Tour 15. I've no idea. I would think not, because there is so few players that are playing in Tour 13 anyway. I don't think there's that demand for that. I would rather see a new game mode than Tour 14, really.
Yeah, same here, absolutely. Tour 14, how it's gonna go is we get a Tour 14, then it's gonna be a race to who completes it the first with the best boosts and everything like that. Then it's gonna be a little hype about that for a little bit, and then it's gonna be in the beginning tough to get opponents because there will not be that many people having the funds to play in that, and you're also just gonna play the same players, and when you get replay, people are gonna cry about that, and people are gonna go down to Tour 13, and then eventually we're gonna get to how it is now, and then people are gonna ask for Tour 15.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, Ben. The game would absolutely benefit from another game mode rather than increasing with another tour.
Yeah. Right, so that is that one sorted out. What do I need to do next? Look ahead to season 65, I believe. Don't forget, if you've not done so already, though, if we could get a few more thumbs up on the board, will be massively appreciated. We're going to have a look at the next season theme, and then it's almost time for my favourite part, and that's the Tommy Lofberg Guess the Ball Stat quiz. And there's 17 points on offer for this one, so you got your work cut out. Right, there we go. There's the next theme. I'm going to take my streaming logo off so you can see that ball, if I can find where it is on here. Where's the logo? Let's give you a proper look at that. There you are. Look, it's a bit of a theme, a bit of camping there. There's a cycle, like a bicycle.
Yeah, I'm a little bit off there, so I can't see anything yet.
Yeah, we should be there.
Yeah, it's just the YouTube.
Oh, of course, it's that delay. Yeah.
So when I hear your voice,
there we go. So there's your little sneaky peek, and a few balls there as well, which I'm sure people will be nice to see that they're round.
Yeah,
which is always good.
I can't see anything. Is it just me, or like I can't see anything on the screen? Or no, I'm an idiot, Ben. Sorry, I was looking for the frame of shame track.
Oh no,
Sorry,
that's coming up. We're just on. We're on.
My bad.
Anyway, so that's that one. Right. Where's my thing? Let's get. Where are we next? Right, now, here come the teas. Are you ready for the teas? Here we go. Picture perfect. 100% clan points.
Oh, Moses.
There we go. We got here Forest Camp, not to be confused with Forrest Gump. 34% coins. Timber Trails. Here we go. Little Kingmaker riding a bike.
Ooh, that was cool. Actually.
Oh, here's a practice token one. Wild Mushrooms.
Nice. Practice tokens.
Forest Totem, 14% trophies. Bike Fork, 60 season tokens on that one. I've not really looked at these. I kind of film. I never watch them until they're live. Totem Pole, that's a clever one. Yeah, okay, 50% trophies. 18% coins. Is there a T with practice tokens?
It should be. I was looking at that earlier today. There was someone at least there.
Come on, bottom. Is it next? Yes, here it is. 10th peg. There we go. 3 tokens per thing on that one. Nice. Is there any more? Oh, there's a tadpole. Oh, there's another one. There's 2 with tokens. There we go.
And a little shameless plug. One of the many. But on the website, golf-tommy.com, for those that are interested in these type of things, you can see all the teas and all the whole explosion that's ever been released in the game. Everything on golf-tommy.com is for free. You can also then search and kind of categorize on what is the most efficient, meaning like what will give you the most value contra the gems that you're spending. So, check that out, and then you can compare with what you have in your inventory in actually what is the best ones to use.
Yep, very nice, very nice. Lee Bradshaw, 2 eagles out there for 13 and 3rd. Well done. Yeah, if you got banners, I saw a lot of people getting banners and things on all of the tournaments, really. So very well done if you did. Celebrate all of your successes. Doesn't have to be any bling. You could just get your personal best a little bit higher. It's still brilliant. Right, it is time for the quiz. Right, here's the season track. Here we go. So it's guess the stats. 17 points on offer. So as usual, if people have not seen this brilliant part of the show before, ball name, ball attributes, including the overpower stability, and the 17 points on offer.
What
right,
everyone has waited for.
Here it is. This is the highlight of the season. There's your first one. It'll be on your screen right now.
Fuck's sake. That's a precision ball. I know that. I think I think this is a P3 side spin 2, wind 3, precision 4. That's my guess.
Okay.
But that one was a tough one.
Ball name and needle stability.
Oh, yeah. Ball name as well. Wait. Lotus
Yes.
ball. And needle, I go with a 1.
Bang on. You got all of that right.
Oh.
2, 3.
Oh,
Right.
I've never been that. I had so much confidence on all the other balls. This was the first one I was not really confident
6
about.
out of 6.
Absolutely.
Well done. Well done.
Yes.
Next one coming up.
Thank you.
So there's the practice tokens there at number 7 on the paid track, and then the number 9 on the paid track for the tokens. Right, here's your next one. I nearly clicked on it, then that ruined it.
Oh, that's a Kingmaker. P3, side spin 3, win 3. No, sorry, I meant the one above. So
No.
oh
Thank
God, yeah, I don't know. That one I actually don't know. I have no clue, Ben. I think this is a top spin boost ball.
It is a
something.
top spin boost ball, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know the name. I literally no clue about the name, but I'm just gonna guess it's P. Let's say P3 top spin boost 4 wind 3 and needle 2.
How much side spin?
I don't know.
You didn't give me any side spin?
Side spin 2.
No, one point for that one. The forest ball. Power 4,
God,
top spin 1, side spin 3, wind 3, needle 0.
I would have not guessed that one. That one was
1 out of 6 for that one. It was all going so well.
Absolutely terrible.
Can you redeem yourself then? Last one coming up now. There it is, number 24.
Oh yes, that one. I used that one. If I don't have all correct here now, I'm gonna be super disappointed. This is a P3 side spin 2, wind 5,
Yes.
and it's a needle. Oh, that's the tough one. It's called the touring
Correct.
ball, and I'm gonna say needle 2.
Needle 3. Needle 3.
Ah, no.
Ooh, 4 out of 5.
Worth less.
So your score was 11 out of 17. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty.
The forest ball that ate me alive. Oh yeah, but that one, the needle speed is the one that if I have incorrect answers, now the forest ball is one of a kind, but the other ones as well, it's the needle speed that really gets me. By the way, though, this fall we're gonna have an improvement on the website, so everyone that are looking at balls on the ball page, you can find all the balls ever released in Golf Clash and search and whatever. Then you're gonna see the needle speed on that ball page as well, so you don't have to wonder or check it
That's
up.
good, because Mark put a question about that actually, saying can you add the needle stability to the ball stats? So there you go. So that one's done.
Yeah,
that one's in.
It's
gonna be the works.
The things that are scheduled to be done, I can't give a date, but what we are going to do is that we are looking into adding a page for the Checkpoint Challenge, a page for the ball collection album, and then we are doing that with the balls. So you said we are going to look into a way of adding no cheats on the tour page, the shootout and stuff like that, so you can. I don't know exactly how that's gonna be look, but you know the beautiful ones that Ben are doing with elevations and stuff like that. We're gonna add that. We are looking into that on the club page, that you are going to be able to actually create your own rings from min and rings from max chart by a very easy, drop down thingy as well on the club page. Obviously, and then also last thing is that we're gonna look to implement a search function on the tour page, so you don't have to scroll and click on all the tours to find the course, but you can actually just search for the course. When you have to just say that though, and that's golfclashtom.com. that's the page to look at. It's we started that page somewhat the same time as Notebook Stop update there, with the intention of doing more or less the same thing, with all the all content being free for people to find and stuff.
Good suggestion from Tempo. Going to put this one on before we wrap up and talk briefly about Eagle Peak. With all the new boosters that have been released, it's becoming very hard to find a specific one we want to use, or any plans to improve sorting or pinning certain boosters. Yeah, I like that suggestion, to be honest, and I will. I'll mention that because I think it would be very useful. Like you say, there's a load of them that come out every season, and trawling through them maybe isn't the most kind of time economical thing to do. Rockwood, good to see you, Rock. Who else have we got that I've missed? Phil, Chris.
The new master killer.
Absolutely killing it. Right then, Eagle Peak we're going to talk about to finish. And how have you found pin number 2 on Eagle Peak?
Yes. Like my analyze on this after been on playing actually these, I'm back to my normal schedule now with the kids back to school and such. So hole 1 and hole 2 is gonna be a bit tougher than before. There's still like a little sticky spot in hole 2, but it's not the same massive funnel that we're used to. And it is a spot that is very close to the rough line. Hole 1, there is no funnel there either. So it's like just a standard attack really. So that's not gonna be as easy as before. Still gonna require some focus. Hole 3, in my opinion, is easier than before, and I'm gonna show you all that tomorrow if the wind allows. Hole 4, it's a rough bump or nothing to me. I felt the green was so much more glitchier for a bounce up shot, so it's a rough bump or nothing, which I mean, I'm not against, but it's going to be a little bit riskier than people. 5 is 5.
Yeah, exactly same.
Hole 6, Hole 6, they have done something stupid. They lifted up the pin up on the green, which is going to make the pin not as attractive. They have moved it more right, so you can attack it through the trees, but based on the pin standing up on that plateau, it's not as easy to attack it from like if you go right on 6 either, because it kind of like the ball guideline goes massively left, so it's like falling right to left heavily. Hole 7 has a big and nice funnel. That hole is going to be dropped much more than it has ever been before. I have no doubt about that. Hole 8 is hole 8. Hole 9, there's no funnel. You can't go past the hole and past the pin and roll back into the hole and hope you drop with great balls and whatever. It's going to be a long distance Alba, which is going to be a tough one to drop. So all in all, it's not going to be a gimme minus 40 on this Eagle Peak. It's going to be a lot of drops here. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be a lot of gimmies like it was before. Like before, holes 1, 2, 5. And 8, those or 9, those 5 holes were, considered almost gimmies with the big funnels they were, and if you did hit perfect, like so, it's not gonna be that easy. But I've been spending a lot of time on that, and it's gonna be, a few holes with different way of attacking the pins. But all in all, it's going to be a nice week, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'd be very good. I know there's a couple of people have said in the chat here about taking away the funnels and that. I can see both sides. I know as a player point of view, it's nice to have the funnel, but I also think from a general thing and a design point of view, if their funnels are that big that you can drop them with a great ball, that I don't like that. I think that's again, that's just my opinion. I think if there's anything that you can drop, a funnel where you can drop a great left and a great right, I think that's too much. And the holes just become boring. And I think this is going to be a little bit more interesting because, Eagle Peak has been done that much that it actually becomes tedious because people are just playing the same shots, the same funnels in all the wind angles, and there's no variety in how people play the holes. So I think this is going to be a nice shake-up for Eagle Peak. It's not all bad. Like you say, hole 5 is still... I don't really like hole 5 from a design point of view because it doesn't play well in headwind. Like, for me, a great hole.
Yeah,
it should be. It should be entertaining to play in all wind angles. So that's again, I've got the obviously.
That's actually that's a good point though. Like, but with all the topspin boost balls and stuff like we have here now, it's gonna be a way to make it down there. But one thing I thought about on that hole was like, now with the pin being so far right now, if you would trickle that ball onto the green on the left, that's going to be, I don't know if you're gonna be able to make it with a max OP pot. That was, I thought I had, and you might can do that, but just a thought I had actually, because it, especially in send it winds, people just gonna blast the ball down there, and but we'll see. Like headwinds, I agree. I think the problem is the elevation drop, and on the second shot where you don't really have a nice and firm landing spot to land, and you can't really zoom in either. So it becomes a very lucky drop from distance if you have to lay up. So it's one of those holes that can be super easy if we have a tailwind, but can also be really difficult if it's like a direct headwind. So I hope we're not gonna see a direct headwind on that one in any divisions. Has to
exactly. I think actually just having a sneaky look there, if you just trickle onto the green on 5, you are not going to reach.
Yeah, okay.
You're not
So
going to reach the
hole. All right, but that is interesting then. Actually, I was right, but I never tested it, so it's speculation. I do think as well, Ben, on the other short par 4, hole 8, I think the hole-in-one chance is much better now as the pin stands further back on the green.
I do, and also as I found out, doing the normal shot through the trees, if you make just onto the green there, you can make the putt, but it is a little bit of an OP putt. So if anybody is doing that through the trees shot, because I played it for my content tomorrow, it is a little bit shaky. So if you've got the option of doing the max curl rather than through the trees, I'd do the max curl and go for the hole-in-one, really, which of course anybody competitive is going to want to do the hole-in-one anyway.
But it's like it's good to know, because like in mastering headwind you can't really do that type of play, but it might be worth trying to find a way down the right side anyway then to not risk that and just leave a slightly longer wedge instead. So that's good knowledge. I think hole 9 as well was interesting. There's a double bounce rough bump that I do think is going to be a nice way of attacking the pin. It's that one is going to be interesting to have as the final hole, as I do believe that we're going to be able to dial that one in pretty well. But it's still, again, it's no gimme, so it's going to be hole 18 standing there having to hit a perfect and then make the right call. But it's such an uphill adjustment from there as well, so we won't be needed to adjust that many rings. So it's now, all in all, it's going to be very interesting, I think.
Yeah, it always seems a little bit daunting, but when you get into it and a bit more and all of that, it's kind of less so. It's just solving the puzzle, isn't it? Final few messages here. MBS, good to see you. Hey Ben, is there any way of getting the balls sorted like a bag system we have for golf bags? Sorry, I'm late here. Preparing for the work week. Yes, Monday tomorrow. Interesting. I think some people have asked as well about trying to get like more pinned balls on there. So maybe it might be something that I can bring forward and try and get more, or indeed a sort. I don't know if they would do that. Where are we now? Oh gosh, I had a message I was going to put on here. Will we get new clubs or putter? I don't think there's going to be any new clubs regarding that. And again, I see the stuff about, that's another frequently asked point, that about the putter. About the putter.
Yeah. Has been since the game started.
And it surprises me that there's actually a load of people get bothered about the putter who don't usually putt. And they're really bothered about the putter. I would think, for me, I don't think the putter needs more power, But as I've said on a Facebook group recently, it's on the newer courses you won't have the problem because there's now a load more testing, and it's done by me as well to make sure there is no locations on the green that you cannot make the putt. So I think that is the way forward for me. It's not changing the putter. I think the putter's fine. I think, if we do more of the kind of the poor Thello things going back, and if I get my way and I can fix the Oasis and make people love City Park, then that's the time I think that there would be like a tweak to the green and just bring the greens in. So then nobody will need a better putter.
True. That is very true. But it's amazing how many people that actually is bothered by that. Why? I feel so rude thinking like you should have done a better approach shot if you put yourself in that spot. But I understand understand that it should not really be a place where you can, even though it's a max OP, you should be able to reach the hole at least. That's.
But it's not on. It's not the Arbiter, at least. The Southern Pines one has been fixed, Lee. That is not impossible now. That is a workable putt. So that one has been fixed.
What hole?
Hole 7, I believe.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That one with the massive sloped green. Okay.
I don't think if there's another. If you don't mean that hole, Lee, then apologies. I've assumed you mean hole 7, which you may not even mean that hole. No. Anyway, there we go. So that's putting dealt with. The next stream will be Sunday, 24th of September. I will be 2 weeks into my return to full-time music, so I'll probably be completely brain dead by then. But, we'll do our best. But thank you for your time, as always, Tommy. Great fun. There'll be some expert stuff for me for qualifying round tomorrow. You'll be doing your stuff in Master as well.
Yeah, I will. It's going to be, standard stuff, Master for me. I'm going to try to put up something for expert as well on Tuesday if the time allows, but also going to have to look into the tour play stuff. And the expert stuff that I'm doing is basically just doing my own voiceover on the guys in the teams video replays to put up some type of stuff for expert on the channel as well. So now it's look forward to this week, not obviously because Tony and Ian is going to come here as well, but also because of the tour rotation. It looks like a nice tournament to have and a lot of fun during the week. We'll see if we do a stream or something like this on Friday, if we can be arsed. Otherwise, I will probably, at least the plan is to have a stream on Tuesday.
Nice.
And I will be streaming on Sunday. But anything in between that is going to be just a big bonus, really.
Excellent. All right, good stuff. Well, have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the season. We'll see you in 4 weeks' time. And again, thanks for all your comments. I read them all, even if I didn't read all of them out. They have been read and they'll be passed on. And as always, we'll continue to do what we can to keep you enjoying your Golf Clash games. So thank you very much, everybody. And we'll see you all very soon. So take care. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.